What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Kristof Lewis podcast, Create Your Career. This is Contemplation with Kristof, number 126, episode number 295. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, you can find the podcast on kristoflewis.com/podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, and you can find it on YouTube. Head over there and subscribe. It would be massively helpful. Hope you're having a great day. You can also head over to Apple Podcasts and rate 5 stars. That would be super helpful. But wow, another week, another podcast down, starting to pick up some new guests, doing my first new recording, the night that this airs. So that's pretty exciting. And I guess, if you know anybody that wants to be on the podcast, let me know. As always, I'm going to at least take a look at it. But I got to make sure they're the right fit first. So I hope you're having a great day. As I said, this is episode number 126 of the Contemplations. The Contemplations, where it's just me talking about a topic that came up within one of the conversations or during the week. If I hear it on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, we're having a talking point. I dive a little bit deeper and share it here. And then the other part of the podcast is where we just have conversations, and that's where we have a guest, and that is really just taking apart their career transition. How do they do it? What were their behaviors that led to their success? How do they help other people? Why do they help other people? And just a lot of the struggles that they've gone through, how they've overcome that, and how they've done all of those things in totality, and how has that contributed to their version of their success. So I hope you check it out. Today's episode is about 2021 not making you happier, and here's why. So let's get into it. So it sounds pretty negative. 2021 will not bring you happiness. And I think that's absolutely true. It will not bring you happiness if you're waiting until some made up conglomeration of dates to make you happier. If you're waiting for some arbitrary date to make you happier, it is a date in the future. Yes, it is something that you can't control. Especially when it's a month away, it's weeks away, and people are saying all over Facebook and Instagram, just social media in general, even LinkedIn, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. What do these people think is going to happen on January 1st? Nothing's going to change. Absolutely nothing. Things are changing out there in the world, but what I mean, of course, is within your own head. Nothing's going to change if you're reliant on some made up date to make things better. So what I'm saying is it kind of takes me back to like an episode I made a year ago about New Year's resolutions. I'm just not a fan of them. I hate waiting to do something, like waiting for a year to do something. Like, do it today. If you have a new gym routine, start it tomorrow morning. If you have an issue with your job, like many people have had this year, and you're depressed and all of the other ludicrous things that we're dealing with this year, then change it today. And I say this year because it started this year in March, but that's just a way we track time as human beings. That has nothing to do, like, bad things aren't happening because this is 2020. Bad things are only happening because, one, we dub them to be bad things, right? There's no good or bad things. It's whatever we think they are. Things just happen. So things aren't going to just stop happening on January 1st. Things don't realize, things don't acknowledge dates, actions, those type of things, worldly events don't action arbitrary dates that human beings made up. They just happen. So you probably get the point now is just start now. Why would you wait? If life is terrible, if you've lost your job, if you're depressed, if whatever you're trying to do in 2021, or you're setting a New Year's resolution on that bit, if you're doing any of those things and you're just waiting to do it, chances are that when that happens, you'll be less motivated to do it. You'll be less likely to keep doing it. And if you start now, you'll have all that momentum already. And the momentum is important, built through consistency. You'll have, depending on when you're listening to this in December of 2020, you'll have X amount of days already built of consistency, which leads to your momentum, which is really important, because when you have the consistency that builds momentum, it's going to drive results. And you need that, because those results are in turn, in the circle and the flywheel of things, those results are going to help with you actually. So like using the gym example, it's so hard to go to the gym for me in the morning, but I still do it because I'm determined to do it. I'm dedicated to do it. I don't always want to do it, but I do it. And then I build a consistency after doing it. And then I have more motivation, more inspiration, and it is just this flywheel that keeps on going. And so start spinning the flywheel before next year. 2021 is not going to bring you happiness. 2021 is going to continue to suck if you have a negative attitude that perpetually waits on other things to make you happy, whether that be other people, whether that be, again, that made up year. It means nothing. The universe will continue to go on regardless of an entity within that universe keeping track of the perceived time for that said thing. So you still exist. You still matter. Do something about it, but do it now. Because you'll be that much more happy that when you get to that point that you didn't wait. And then you won't go blaming years. It's such a bandwagon thing, which I hate so much. Just blaming 2020. It sucks. A lot of things that we dub not good have happened to happen in this year since March of 2020. But they will continue to happen if we don't change things. So do your best to not, it's an easy out. Easy out, right? Everybody falls into the New Year's resolutions. They fall into everything. And again, using the gym example, they're done by February. Don't fall into the mainstream global excuse of 2020 and dub the rest of your year, we still have weeks left, a complete loss. You need to win every single moment, and every single moment that you experience builds up into the moments, builds up to the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years. And maybe if you want to look at it with having a good or bad year, that's up to you. But to me, so much shit going on, I'm just trying to win the next moment. I'm just trying to exist in the next moment and be positive in the next moment and do the very best I can in that next moment. Not always win it, but just do the best I can. And if I consistently do the best I can, and I'm consistently dedicated to the things that I wish to achieve, then again, I'll build up that consistency. I'll build up that momentum. And in the end, I will have gone through so much tough things, but I will have gotten there. And it will not have been easy. But we just do the best we can. So the moral of the story is 2021 will not bring you happiness if you do not invite happiness into your heart right now. That's pretty much what it boils down to. You have to do the best you can right now in this very moment, and these moments will build up and they will bring you happiness. But do not be reliant on some external factor to bring you happiness. This is only something that you can achieve for you, doing the things that you want and for yourself and for the loved ones around you. So I hope that makes sense. As I always say in these contemplations, they may be semi-controversial, and that's fine. We should not agree on everything. That would be ludicrously weird if we did agree on everything. So thank you for listening. I hope you have the best night ever. Remember, you can find this podcast on kristoflewis.com/podcast. You can find me on Instagram. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. The Instagram handle is Kristof Lewis. Everything is Kristof Lewis. Create your career. So thank you so much. Have the best day ever. And remember, you can listen to all the best advice, all the best podcasts. You can read all of the most incredible books. But if you don't apply it, it won't mean anything. So if you go out into the world after you listen to this podcast and you don't apply anything from here and you're just still waiting for 2021 and you think 2020 is a waste and you're just going to waste the rest of the days in December, then so be it. But for those of you that actually choose to do something from this and take action, I can't promise you'll find happiness, but you'll be a little bit closer, and you'll have been much closer had you not tried now. So have the best night ever. I'll see you later.